It's your boy, Server Error 405 here. Look, it's a podcast. And today I have one of my favorite people on the planet. I've known this gentleman for well over 10 years. He has been one of the funniest dudes I've known, and he's making the best life situation right now with COVID. And we're going to talk to him about that, ladies and gentlemen. Lazarus.
What's going on? B, it's your man, it's your friend. I'm just so blessed to be here for the very first time on It's a Podcast. Hey!
Man, I'm happy that you're on, man. And the first thing I want to say is, number one, I love you and your family. I'm glad you guys are safe and healthy, happy and blessed. That's the best possible thing. And with that being said, you were already working stand-up comic. You were doing shows in front of a crowd of people. Man, I miss those days. But since that's not around anymore for the time being, you made the best of a bad situation. And you were, and I'm going to say this myself, you were the first person that I have watched do virtual comedy. No one was doing it. And I know a lot of comedians, and you know a lot of comics too. And you were the first person to go on Facebook Live and do virtual comedy for about 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, and sometimes, depending on, the children. They get in the way sometimes, like, hey, now they're included in the show. And, tell me all about that, where that idea came from and how everything's going with that.
Yeah, bro. Even before I dabbed into the stand-up, man, I've always just been, familiar with going live and just doing, my videos of my everyday life as a dad and all of that, man. I got that experience from Periscope, and then I took it to my Facebook. And like you said, as soon as the pandemic hit, everything shut down, bro. And I'm like, okay, how do we maintain our funny? How do we, everything shut down, especially in Southern California. Now I got a lot of comedian comrades who still are hitting stages as we speak in the South, like in Alabama, Georgia, Atlanta. You know what I mean? It's like, what, Rona? Everything's still open out there for them. Hey, I ain't mad at them, but, for me and my household, we're just trying to ride this thing as safe as possible. So I said, you know what? Let me do what I've already been doing it, but just put it in a show round. And to be honest, B, I got the inspiration from like back in the 90s, the Arsenio Hall show. I said, you know what? I'm not there yet, but let me make it my own. Let me produce and direct it and put it all together.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you never know whose eyes will see it and find interest in it. So, I titled it No Rona Gonna Stop Us, because I wasn't gonna let no Rona. And I don't know, but I feel like I was like one of the first to hit that name Rona when it hit. You know what I'm saying? And I just said, no one going to stop a stand-up comedy show. And like you said, bro, I'm a father of 3 beautiful daughters. And they were, in order for me to do my show, I had to keep them occupied. So I said, you know what? Let me incorporate them into the show. I said, I'm about to do this Joe Jackson method. And we all about to get the experience. Y'all about to get these microphones in your faces. And you're gonna get this experience. So yeah, bro. I started out like you said. At first, it was gonna be every Friday, and it was gonna be for an hour. That was my vision. But the way that family life is working, that's a very difficult thing to do, man. My wife consistently has been working home we're in 47 weeks now. 47 weeks, bro.
Wow.
And on Fridays, by her already being home, and then she gets off, it's already like pushing 5 o'clock. We still haven't decided what dinner's going to be. We need to have that downtime just to be like, the weekend is now finally here. But then before you know it, I'm starting my show at 7. And to do a whole hour and to do it every Friday, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to shorten this and do it a bi-weekly thing, because we couldn't afford just to be setting up for a show every Friday evening. We had to have at least 1 week,
Yeah. That's the huge thing when you have a family and you're juggling everything, because you're all in with comedy. And a lot of my guests that I've had, we've talked about entrepreneurships, and you are an entrepreneur. So you're balancing everything pretty much in front of our eyes, which is really commendable because, you know, you have beautiful children, you're trying to incorporate them and you're going every other week. How do you keep everything together besides having a pandemic that's just hanging around like, hey guys, I'm still around?
Man,
Like, how do you handle it?
you know what? I'm gonna be real, brother. It's nothing but the grace of God. It's nothing but the grace of God. I'm just blessed and thankful. Anyone who's watching this, it's a podcast right now, and has ever heard of a name Lazarus, then you know what type of background I have. That's one of the most biblical names parents could ever name their child. You know, and if you never heard of the name Lazarus, look it up. I'm trying to tell you, my friend. Other than naming your child, Jesus. That's right. That's one of the deepest biblical names, and that's my background, man. And it's because of my background, it allowed me to be who I am in my adulthood. And it's really my faith, man, knowing that we might be in a dark tunnel right now, but we will see some light in the end. So what I'm doing is that old school method of, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, B. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let no Rona stop us. I'm not going to let no Rona stop my hustle, stop my flow. If I can't go out the door to go to a show, I'm going to do it in my living room. You understand me?
Absolutely.
And I've just been consistent. And over the times of me doing this, bro, I have cultivated a following of people, individuals who consistently come and tune in to my shows, and it warms my heart, man, because I was like, man, ain't nobody gonna, you know, Facebook be tripping. They don't be I got close to 5,000 people I'm connected with, man, and sometimes I be having like 17 likes. I'm like, come on, for real, Facebook, you know?
Yeah. That's like that. But you know what? It's funny that you say that because I literally had the same conversation with my girlfriend. If you look at just the big names out there, like on Twitter, for example, like Kim Kardashian, she could have, I don't know, 44 million followers on Twitter, give or take. Let's just say that for argument's sake, but she'll get 1 million likes.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's still, I would love to have 1 million likes anywhere.
Right.
But you have 44 million followers, so there's a ratio in there. So with 5,000 follow or friends on Facebook, if you get like 14 likes or even views, really the ratio kind of, the math adds up really if you really break it down. But it doesn't discourage you, which is great because you're one of the most positive dudes I've known in my life, bro. Like, honestly, and that is good. You're a gift from God for a lot of people because your show that you put out is helping a lot of people. Even if it's kind of like I had Chris True on the other day, even if you have a couple people, you know, at your stand-up show, if they're laughing their ass off, they're going to probably bring some friends. They're going to keep fucking with you. They're going to keep buying your merchandise. They're going to always support you. Yeah. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 300 to you, it's all the same. And how do you just, I know you give it all to God, but how do you keep that every day? You know what I'm saying? Like that positivity every day.
Oh, well, you know, millions didn't make it, brother. But as I sit here in this screen, you and I are some of the ones who did wake up today, man. And I take that very, very, you know, I put it high on my book of thankfulness. You know what I'm saying? God blessed me with this talent and this energy, and I can't let it go by the wayside. Every day is a new day to be great. I'm on a new regimen of life when I wake up first thing in the morning, like right at 5 a.m. sometimes, or a little bit before then. I start my day. That's really far from 5 to 6, 6:30. Really, it's like my me time. And I get my workout on. You know, I get my day going, and I look at this as the little steps that you do, and even if they seem minute in the beginning, has a big difference on what will add up for your future. Your positive mindset and all the things that you do right now, man, 5 to 10 years from now will show the proof of all the hard work that you did from the past. I'm just a living witness to that.
I love you mentioned your cardio. Let's go cardio every morning. I watch it on Instagram. I love it. The one thing I noticed from that is you could be a DJ because you literally know every word for word, whatever song you're playing. It doesn't matter what genre it is, whatever type of music, you know because I watch you. You don't even fumble. You know every word. Like do you have like some secret musical background that I don't know about, or?
Bro, I grew up in the church, and I'm gonna be real with you, man. When I go out on my cardios, I play I play gospel music. I play uplifting music. John P. Key is a very inspirational gospel pioneer, icon, great. And I put that on my Pandora. So that's a mixture of just all kinds of songs. And it's songs that I grew up on as a kid. I'm not kicking down the church right now, especially with the pandemic.
Right.
I don't even have a church home. I'm a living witness. Look, my name is Lazarus, and I don't have a church home. So I find other ways to feed my, my temple, to give me, what I grew up on, because man, I was in church Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You got Bible study, you got choir rehearsal, you got, vacation Bible school. I was that kid. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, if I did it straight for 18 plus years, then let me step out on faith and see how God gonna bless me if I ain't in the church for another 18 plus years. You know what I'm saying? He loves me the same with or without. No, for real. No, yeah.
That's and you know what's great is for anyone who ever and we'll go over his Instagram and everything towards the end here, but when you watch it, you're out there, by your house dancing, and we're both in entertainment. So, been on stage. So we don't get embarrassed anymore. Those days are behind us. But has there ever been a time that you've done your morning cardio or you're out there dancing, spinning around, and any of the neighbors gave you kind of a side eye, or anyone?
Never.
Nothing?
I go even harder if I have eyes. I'm a magnet to eyes, bro. I go harder. I go crazy. I sing outside. It's before 6 a.m. and you may hear me. Like I get the same amount. I get the same kind of neighbors in my community that come out around the same time, so I know kind of their schedule, and it's almost like they wave at me. I have a neighbor, don't know his name, never shook his hand, but because of the consistency of him leaving either to go to work, I'm assuming work, but of him passing by me, he would stop on occasions, blow his horn, put his window down. One day he said, "Hey, bro, you're losing weight, man. I can see it." I'm like, "Hey, man, what? I didn't hear you say that again."
Any interaction at this point is great.
I love it. I love it, man. So, you just never know who's watching. Even I've always had a theory. You might not see someone watching, but I always have a sense of it could be because I know I'm the type of person. It could be that individual peeping through the blinds, like, look at him, I'm doing it again. You know what I'm saying? So you just never know. So without knowing, I'm always feeling as though all eyes are on me at all times. And that's how I look at life. I'm my main actor of the movie of life. You know what I'm saying? And life is a movie, bro. It is a movie. And 2020 was a horror movie. You understand me? Oh, 2021 is almost trying to be like the sequel, but I'm not believing that it's going to go that route.
Anytime I feel that way, I just say to myself, time doesn't exist. It's just a number. We're living our lives every day, and God's got us. You know what I'm saying? So thank God for that. Now, we only have a few more minutes here. So what do you got your bi-weekly show. What are you working on this year, and what do you hope to work on if things change a little bit, because we are still new in the year? What are you hoping to work on this year?
Well, I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm currently taking online classes as much as possible. I already got some UCB credits behind me of online classes, voiceover classes. You know what I'm saying? Doing as much as possible to learn during this pandemic, even incorporating my daughters to take classes. And I'm believing that I'm on the journey of trying to book multiple voiceover gigs, because to take away the stand-up gig, and I'm gonna say this too. I moved here from Alabama 15 years ago to pursue my career as an actor. I'm an entertainer actor, a comedic actor. I didn't even fathom stand-up. Stand-up wasn't even on my list of to-dos, but it was because of you, brother, over 9 years ago. We met via social media. I believe it was Twitter. Yeah. And we connected and just started kind of building a online relationship, bro. And you was like, "Hey, man, I think you had a podcast then before people were doing podcasts, bro." and the Floppy Bob show. You know what I'm saying? And you interviewed me. It was on the radio, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And you were like, bro, you're so funny. Do you do stand up? I'm like, no, I've never done stand up. He said, man, you should try it out. I'm gonna introduce you to someone. And you introduced me to Jody Miller. She was holding her shows weekly at the Comedy Store. Yeah. And I did her belly room store at the C Word Comedy Show, and that was over 10 years ago, my man. Yeah. And I got bit by the bug and have been grinding ever since. So what I'm doing now is I have a kind of a hush hush project, a big huge secret project that I know by faith is going to change my life and everyone that I'm connected with lives. This has been cultivating for since I want to say 2009. Wow. My father-in-law and I have a movie project that we're working on. The script is over halfway finished. Okay. And we wholeheartedly believe in this project. I can't spill the beans about too much information, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's looking promising. You know what I'm saying? Well,
that's what's up, bro. Yeah, that's what's up. You're gonna have every prayer that I can possibly give. And when it gets to the finishing product where you could talk about it, I have you come on when you have a little bit more time, and we could be able to discuss that and all the blessings. So in the meantime, where can everybody find you on social media?
I'm gonna tell you this really quickly. I did build me a website, bro, but I guess I didn't see the fine print or whatever. I got the okie doke on GoDaddy. I created it, and I paid for the domain and everything for 5 years. I assumed once I created it that I was gonna have my website for 5 years. No, it was a trial. So you got to pay for the name, but at the same time, you got to go back and repay for the So I don't have a website currently. So anyone who's watching this, all the replay viewers, everyone, you can follow me on Instagram. That's Lazarus JW, LazarusJW. Facebook, Lazarus Windham. I even have an entertainer page on Facebook. That's Lazarus Come Forth. I think that Lazarus W Come Forth. Yes, Lazarus W Come Forth. And yeah, that's big. Instagram is the main hole that I have all of my content. Just everything that I basically had on my website is all on my Instagram, from old footage to commercial reels and all of that jazz, man.
Okay, that's what's up, man. And you know what? I can't wait to hear about the project when it comes out. And I'll have all the links when this comes out. It's going to have all the links for everything for you here. So again, my pleasure having you on, my friend. I'm looking forward to everything, all the fun, entertaining things that you're going to be giving us here in 2021. And thanks again for doing the show. And everybody, thanks for listening here on Spotify. And also thanks for watching here on YouTube. We do appreciate you. Also look at, easy for me to say, also check us out. Look, it's a podcast all over all social media. Enjoy the rest of your day. Make sure you mask up. Have a good one.